3-year-old Claire Bell was found alone, but alive. She was speaking with the police officer. She was alive. We provided some first aid in water and food for now, and she's been taken care by the paramedics. So the priority is just to make sure she is okay. On the fourth day of a massive search combining several police forces, investigators received a big lead that led them to a farm in St. Albert, Ontario.
Okay, major props to the law enforcement on this one. They really earned their keep with this one. It's such great news, such great resilience from the law enforcement not to give up on that little girl. Kudos to them, for real.
More than an hour from where Claire was reported missing. A woman told them she had seen the toddler on the afternoon she went missing. Ontario Provincial Police drones then combed the area along the 417 where they found the girl.
As you can imagine, this search has weighed heavily on everyone, including members of the public who became deeply invested in the fate of this young child. This was a search where we knew, especially given her age, that every hour mattered.
Now there are questions about what happened to her, including how a 3-year-old girl could survive 4 days in this rough terrain.
That is such great news, but now it has a lot of people skeptical as to how she was able to make it over an hour away from where she was reported missing. In this next clip, we'll watch a viral video of Claire's mom that has gathered her some sympathy from the court of public opinion. In this video, the woman is seemingly referencing her ex-fiancé, who she misses, and she refers to him as her twin sauce or something like that, her soul twin. I don't know. Watch it.
I hate how right he was about so many things. So, I'm gonna crack this whole thing wide open. I've been refraining from using this term because it implies an outcome, which is super naive, because it's very rare that a situation like this ends in unity. It requires both parties to do an intense amount of self-work. But apparently what I just went through is called the twin flame journey. Anyways, where you reflect each other's shadow and light. And I mean, there's a lot to learn because...
Yeah, so I guess she's saying her ex-husband was a twin flame. I swear, I'm not opposed to this new age stuff, but when people try to use it as a justification for things, like, oh, you know what, I'm really stubborn and hard-headed, but it's not my fault. I'm a Taurus, you know? I just can't with that, to be honest. I just can't. I'm laughing a little bit more today because Claire has been found. And that's the most important thing, really.
Honestly, I've never met anybody who could match my intelligence in that way. Very impressive. And frankly, I miss his mind without the cloudiness of his emotions. I mean, we all have emotions, but if you're unaware of them, then it becomes cloudy. Anyways.
Mind you, this clip was shot back in April of 2025, about 2 months before the incident.
So all the lessons that I've learned from the experience, I have applied diligently, because if you're not going to learn, then I don't know. I've applied it to my personal life. I've applied it to my professional life internally. And my next phase was to apply it to my professional life externally, aka breaking through this glass ceiling that I feel. And so I tried very hard, very boldly. Sorry. And what I got met with was...
I'm sorry guys, but you're gonna have to finish the video by yourself. I can't keep going. Just seeing that lady breaking down like that, it makes it just unbearable for me. I know, like, this is what they say, right? Don't judge the book by the cover. On the surface, she's actually a director with 100 direct reports. She seems like a big shot, corporate America, doing really well. But then nobody really knows what demons we're fighting at home or in our heads. So this is why I always just try to be nice to everyone I encounter, because you never know what someone is going through. It's clear that this lady was going through some heavy stuff. And she and Claire's father His name is Matt Bell. They were engaged in 2021, but recent posts would suggest that they had since split. There's no indication as to when that split happened, but I can't help but wonder if that had anything to do with her spiraling. Matt Bell is a professional chef and has declined to talk to the media. I can't say I blame him there. Smart choice, if you ask me. Here are some of the top comments from the video. So one of them says, sad that before this happened to her daughter, she has been dealing with a narcissist who mentally and psychologically abused her. She has been crying out for help from the narcissist abuse. So tragic. So yeah, a lot of people have been saying they seem like they know what I don't know. So you guys, please feel free to let me know down in the comments. Is there something I'm missing about Matt Bell? Because how do people know, and how are they so sure that he was a narcissist, right? I never seen anything from him that would suggest that he is. And look at the replies here. Some people are actually agreeing with her. They say, yeah, I recognize it too, because I've been there and I remember thinking we were twin flames too. Narcissistic abuse comes with love bombing and also intelligence, and it can really mess with you emotionally and mentally. The same person says, it's very sad, but yet tragic. She was posting and crying out for help. Anyone who has dealt with narcissistic abuse can understand. So many of our hashtags say hashtag narcissist and hashtag abuse. So sorry you went through narcissistic abuse. So I don't really know how I feel about that. I don't really agree. I don't think that dealing with a narcissist justifies abandoning your child, although I'm not saying that she's done that. She remains innocent, of course, until proven guilty, but she has currently been charged with child abandonment. So I don't think that dealing with a narcissist is an excuse for that, in my opinion. John Pelkey says, so everyone going on about surviving the narcissist, this woman, this mother has dozens of videos, all about her, not one video or picture of her child except when she used her as a threat. I don't know if some of you saw that video on the first time I covered this. I did share it. I'll put it here again.
You try that again, and this is gonna get ugly.
That video did not really look well on this lady whatsoever. I don't know shit about her ex, but this woman is the personification of a narcissist. I really think that word gets thrown around way too loosely in society today. I don't think that a lot of people, I mean, at this point, everybody's a narcissist, right? Someone else says, smart, articulate, director at work, manager of 100+ staff. Someone knew something was way off. Family, friends, staff, boss, who tried to help, who? You know, sometimes when someone is like doing so well in life, right? And then even better than most people around her, they're probably wondering that maybe they're not in the best position to give her unsolicited advice. So if she wasn't reaching out and asking directly for help, I wouldn't blame anybody for not reaching out. I tend to mind my business as well, to be honest. Someone else says twin flames is a cult. Yeah, that's the whole new age stuff. I blame everyone in her contacts because no matter how hard you try to hide your page, TikTok recommends your stuff to your contacts, and you're telling me no one saw these videos. Someone else says, where is Claire? Exactly. Well, thankfully, Claire has been found a couple days ago now, actually. Another person says, I've never met anyone who can match my intelligence in that way. Wow, she's humble too. Yeah, exactly. I felt that I was a little bit arrogant on her side, right? And then for her to call her ex-husband or ex-fiancé a narcissist while displaying signs of arrogance and superior intellect, which is also like a trait of a narcissist, right? But anyways, meanwhile, the mother remains in police custody. In an article dated on the 20th of June, 2025 from the National Post, it reads, the defense lawyer, so for the lady, Olivia Bellevue, representing a mother charged in child abandonment at a Montreal area courthouse on Friday, June 20, 2025. The Montreal mother who allegedly abandoned her 3-year-old daughter in rural Ontario, triggering a 4-day hunt for the child across 2 provinces, will remain detained until her bail hearing early next month. On Friday, the mother's legal aid lawyer said he would try to have his client released pending the outcome of the criminal case, adding that he is working on a plan to get her the help she needs. The 34-year-old woman faces 1 count of unlawful abandonment of a child, a charge that carries a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison. Okay, right now we're currently dealing with someone who is experiencing immense distress, her lawyer told reporters about his client at the Salaberry de Valleyfield courthouse west of Montreal. You see, this is way too close to home, guys, I'm telling you. This is someone who needs help. The accused, whose name is under a publication ban to protect the identity of the 3-year-old, is alleged to have abandoned the girl in Castleman I charged my car at Castleman at the supercharger there on my way to work in Ottawa like twice a week. So this is crazy how close this is. On Sunday afternoon, following an intense search by police and volunteers, she was spotted 4 days later by an Ontario Provincial Police drone along Highway 417, about 50 kilometers west of the Quebec boundary. Lawyers set hearing dates of July 3 and July 4 for the woman's bail hearing, in addition to ordering a publication ban on the accused name. Quebec Court Judge Bertrand Saint-Honord also signed off on Friday on an order preventing her from contacting the 3-year-old or the girl's father. The accused will remain detained at the Leclerc Detention Center in Laval, north of Montreal. The defense has so far not requested a psychological assessment for her. No additional charges were laid during the 15-minute hearing on Friday. The Crown has said it opposes bail for the woman, who doesn't have a criminal record. Prosecutor Lily Prevost-Gravel told the court that disclosure of the evidence has started but will take some time. The mother reported her daughter missing on Sunday at a business in Coteau-du-Lac, Quebec west of Montreal, and told police she had no recollection of the previous 6 hours or the toddler's whereabouts. Provincial police and volunteer search teams spent days combing the roadside and forest in part of southwestern Quebec before figuring out the accused had traveled to Ontario. The girl was found alive and conscious by OPP officers who had started their own search. And I just love to see that inter-provincial police work there. It's fantastic, and I have nothing but praise for law enforcement on this one. But anyways, I'm really curious once again to hear you guys' thoughts about this. What do you think about this? How do you think that 3-year-old Claire Bell was able to make her way 1 hour away from the area she was declared missing? And some people have alleged that she might have been taken by someone or was with someone. But I don't know, guys. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. And until next time.